let's get into it. Alright, so picture this. The scene kicks off right after Guy Crimson's initial conversation, and the mood is, surprisingly light. But then, almost like they got a secret signal, Ramirez, Dino, and Veldora all stand up at the exact same time. It is so ridiculously obvious that they're trying to make a run for it.
And their excuses are just priceless. You have Veldora, in his classic booming voice, claiming he's got to rush back to guard the labyrinth. Busy guy, ha ha ha, he laughs, putting on this whole show that fools absolutely no one.
But Guy Crimson, he is not letting them go that easily, especially not Dino. With this little smirk, he takes a shot. You working? What a sorry excuse for a joke. You can just feel the sarcasm practically dripping from that line. But then, the totally unexpected happens. Ramirez, of all people, jumps in to defend Dino, declaring he's her assistant. Now this is a huge deal because it genuinely catches Guy off guard. See, he can blow off anything Dino says, but a claim backed up by Ramirez, that's a whole different story. He kinda has to take that seriously. So Guy turns to Rimuru looking completely astonished and basically asks what kind of voodoo he used to make the laziest guy in the world actually work. And Rimuru's response? It's so simple, and it perfectly explains the culture he's built in Tempest. In our country, we have a simple rule. If you do not work, then you do not eat. No magic, just, common sense.
Okay, so with the comedy trio gone, the whole atmosphere in the room just shifts. You can feel it. The lighthearted banter is officially over. And Rimuru, sensing this, decides it's time to find out why Guy is really here. So Rimuru just looks Guy straight in the eye and cuts right to the chase. He asks, "Did you come all this way just to ask about Testarossa and the other two?" He knows, deep down, there has to be something more going on. A being like Guy doesn't travel just for a simple status update. And he's right. Guy pretty much confirms it. Yeah, the Primordials were on his mind, but his main reason for visiting is something else entirely. Turns out, he just had a run-in with a group called the Moderate Clown Troupe, and that's where things get really, really interesting. The second Rimuru hears the name of that group, you can almost see the gears turning in his head. He immediately connects the dots and jumps in with the crucial question, so did you meet with Yuki too? I mean, this is a massive moment, connecting two of his biggest enemies right there in front of him. In this, right here, is where the conversation takes a sharp turn from a high-level chat into the shadowy world of global conspiracy. Guy starts to peel back the layers on just how big Yuki Kagurazaka's operation really is. So, first off, Guy makes one thing crystal clear. He and Yuki are not allies, not even close. In fact, he caught Yuki and his crew trying to ditch all their operations in the West and run off to the Eastern Empire. And you just know that Guy's little punishment was anything but little. Then Guy just starts laying out the insane scope of what Yuki's been up to for the last decade. This isn't just some kid playing games. Yuki masterfully built the Freedom Association. He was secretly working with the super powerful Rosso family. He was pulling Clayman's strings the whole time. And he even crushed Eastern Underworld to build his own secret organization, Cerberus. The guy is an absolute genius of espionage and control. And this part just shows you how incredibly audacious Yuki is. He had a powerful, ancient demon lord like Leon Cromwell unknowingly dancing to his tune, all as part of his grand, almost childish plan for world domination. I mean, the sheer nerve is just astounding. So this leads us to the next massive question, right? If Yuki is this dangerous, this good at manipulation, and this ambitious, why is he still alive? Well, let's find out. Guy's answer is as simple as it is chilling. He says it so casually, it just hangs there in the air. Well, it was all for a game. To him, all these global power struggles, the lives at stake, it's all just a big board game to keep him from getting bored. So here's the deal he struck. Guy made a bargain with Yuki. In exchange for his life, Yuki now has to use all his talents for manipulation to cause chaos inside the Eastern Empire, which Guy knows is gearing up for a big move against the West. Guy's literally using one enemy as a weapon to weaken another. But why though? Why does Guy even care about the balance of power between East and West? The answer reveals the true, mind-bending scale of the game he's been playing for centuries. And there it is. Guy's ultimate goal isn't to destroy humanity, it's to manage them. He believes that the only way to stop humans from wrecking themselves and the world with their foolishness is to bring them completely under the rule of the demon lords. His game is all about absolute control for the sake of
well, preservation.
And all of a sudden, other things start to make perfect, terrifying sense. Rimuru asks why Guy ordered Misery to destroy the Council of the West. The answer? It was a calculated move. By creating all that chaos and fear, Guy's plan was to push the panicked Western nations to run for protection under a single powerful leader, and that leader was Rimuru.
And with a little help from his ultimate skill, Raphael, it all just clicks for Rimuru. The grand strategy, the centuries of manipulation, it all boils down to one simple, unbelievable fact. Guy Crimson, one of the most powerful beings in existence, is, at his core, a slacker. He doesn't want the job of managing humanity himself. He's been trying to find the right person to delegate the work to.
And that one single realization just changes everything. The tension between Guy and Rimuru just dissolves, and it's replaced by this new, unspoken understanding. A whole new power dynamic is about to be set.
Seizing the moment, Rimuru asks directly if Guy has a problem with him taking over the West, and Guy's response is perfect. Nope. Unless those idiots forget who's boss, I have no intention of butting in. He basically just hands over the management of the entire Western nations, as long as Rimuru remembers who's really at the top of the food chain.
And that leaves us on a massive cliffhanger. The whole board has been completely rearranged, Guy has given Rimuru his blessing, and Yuki is now a wild card, about to cause who knows what kind of trouble in the Eastern Empire. So, what on earth does Rimuru do now, with the full might of the Empire about to come crashing down on him?
What do you think Rimuru's next move will be? Let me know what you think in the comments, and hey, don't forget to like this explainer and subscribe to the Anime Architect for more Tensura breakdowns.